Alright, we got 41 vlogs here, just me and Alan today, and the quality is really bad because we're doing it on Alan's computer today because my camera died, and the audio is terrible. I know the video is terrible.
The quality is terrible. The video is not going to be terrible, but the quality is pretty bad. We've all been pretty busy.
The content's going to be good. The
content's going to be good, but we haven't been making much content because we've all had stuff going on.
Yeah, school, stuff like that.
Finals coming up.
Yep, so we should be done soon, so we'll have a lot more videos coming after that.
For sure.
So today, what we're going over is just like whatever comes up into our heads, and we just start talking about it.
We want to know what you guys like on a deeper level.
Yep. So today we're going to be discussing the simulation hypothesis, which is basically the idea that we're...
Hold up, I'm saying something fast. If you guys have like any interests or anything, just comment below. Like, we're interested.
Yeah, if you guys want to hear us talk about something, just like...
I have a lot of opinions on a lot of things.
Yeah, if we don't have any opinions or we don't know what it is, we'll just look it up, research it, and then talk about it in one of these videos. So, what I was going to talk about was the simulation hypothesis, which is the idea that we're inside of a simulation right now. Like, the whole universe that we're in was created by somebody else, and we're inside of this simulation, basically. What are your opinions on that?
I think that's very likely in that we could be in a possible dimension that's like ran by something higher. I don't know, it might sound crazy, but for example, like you Rick and Morty fans out there, I don't know if there's any Rick and Morty fans watching, but me and myself, I'm a huge Rick and Morty fan. There's this one episode where Rick and Jerry, they get captured by aliens to figure out this recipe for something, and they're in this big simulation.
It was like concentrated,
like, and they're just controlling, concentrated dark matter, and they're just controlling like their brain, like, and I think it's very probable and possible that something like that could happen, but I don't know.
Yeah. So, and then there's another episode of Rick and Morty where Rick has his car battery, which is powered what he calls a microverse. So it's like a miniature universe that he used to power his car, but basically in this microverse, they had a like society and civilization where they like harvested energy, and this energy was used to power his car battery. Is basically what he used it for. But this is like the same idea as like that we could be in some other, like we could be powering somebody's car battery. Like for example, it's just like a concept thrown out there that was really intriguing.
What if we're in an alien science experiment? Think about that.
Yeah, like they made a test to see if they can make a simulation, and then
or what if they made an experiment to see like life, and what if we were part of a civilization and they took us off and put us on a random planet to see how humans would end up?
Yeah, like a test to like see how civilization like developed
and how long humans would take to self-destruct,
like die out, kill each other, go crazy, basically.
We're gonna talk about some philosophy and stuff. Like, I got some questions. Like, comment below if you have any opinion on it. Do you guys think that you can like avoid corruption? Do you think all humans they face corruption in their life? Do you think? What do you think? Do you think
it's hard because you don't want to condemn everybody to being like just naturally evil people, like because obviously that's not completely true.
But okay,
in the face of like,
think about this: what is evil and what's bad? Think about that for a second.
I don't know. It's because it's all based on like societal standards, so it's really difficult to gauge. This is the kind of stuff that you can't like.
You can compare humans to monkeys, I guess. Like not exactly monkeys, not like evolutions. Like monkey see, monkey do. You see a monkey sees someone picking freaking ticks off another monkey's back. The other monkey's gonna go over there and pick the ticks off the monkey's back. Like us humans, we see people do something, we like to copy it. For example, fidget spinners. Like, oh, that looks cool. A lot of people are doing it. I'm gonna do it too.
Yeah, like the trends that people start doing, like how everybody follows what other people do. It's kind of interesting to see because a lot of people will blindly follow without doing research and then think that they know what they're talking about.
And then like people act and put up a front so they can fit in with a group of people.
That's
especially in school. You can see it in people like they act completely different around a certain group of friends, but then when it's just you and that person conversating, they're a completely different person.
That really annoys me.
Yeah. Or like a female, they'll act completely stupid and say stupid stuff, and then like you talk to them later and they're not around anyone and they just act like a normal person. Like, it's all front.
Yeah, a lot of people try and like it's like all about following those trends and following other people basically. It's like not a lot of independent thinkers, which is kind of sucks to say because I like there to be a lot of independent thinkers because that's how society progresses is new ideas and outside of the box thinking. But a lot of people are more prone to follow what other people are doing rather than coming up with their own ideas and thoughts about something. So if they see for example, some YouTuber that has some opinion on something, they would rather just take that person's word for it rather than researching all that stuff themselves and coming up with their own opinion.
What do you think about? Okay, if someone has perfect, this is a completely different topic. I'm just going off the random head. If someone has perfectly good mind state, they're at the right level of consciousness, and they are sick, really sick. They have like stage 4 cancer, but they don't know how long they're gonna live. They have a possibility of living, but they're in deep pain, and they really just want to be put out of their misery. Do you think they should have the right to be able to commit suicide?
Dude, I don't know. That's a really personal thing because I don't know because I can't. It's hard to imagine like on a surface level, like not wanting to be alive is completely different than like truly no longer wanting to live, which is it for me. That's a scary thought because I know there are people that believe in an afterlife, and I'm not trying to offend anybody with an opinion here, but what if there literally is just nothing? Like you die and that's it. Like that is completely the end, and you just cease to exist.
I kind of agree with like the Dharma effect. Like I think that suicide's wrong because not because you're religious. I'm not really religious, but like Buddhism, they have a Dharma, and I think when this person they're supposed to live. I think you take yourself out of the cycle of life, and then you change something permanently, and it changes the Dharma for everyone. Like someone's life can be completely different afterwards.
Yeah, like it's most of the time, I'm not going to say every time because if you have stage 4 cancer and you're guaranteed to die soon, it's a completely different story. But it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem for most cases. Like
that's completely different because usually most people that are depressed and when they kill themselves, they're depressed, so they're not at a normal state of mind. And they have a high level of consciousness currently.
Yeah, like it's hard because a lot of people don't get help for stuff like that. They'd rather face it on themselves, like face it on their own, which sometimes you just need to power through it and do it on your own, but there are other times sometimes you just need help, like honestly. Like you need to be able to accept defeat.
Sure.
I see that a lot in people, like not specifically like correlated to depression and suicide, not completely different, but like not willing to accept that they're wrong or showing any weakness. Like they want to show themselves as perfect to other people. That's more into like putting up a front, like what we were talking about before. But I see that a lot in school and outside of school and society.
I think with like mental illness and stuff like that, like you see all these school shootings and all that type of stuff. But if media and like social media, it's not usually the media, but people, it doesn't like we don't act like it, but they bash as a society. It's frowned upon. People look differently at people just because of an illness, and I think it should be more supported and like more funded. Yeah. Definitely more funded because if you could tell, because mental illnesses you can't see it by looking at someone, but if someone is like schizophrenic, you say like you don't know, right? And they go shoot up a school, but if they're more like you can tell, like maybe they act up at school, but the teacher just pushes it aside. They don't really pay much attention and don't get the proper help they need. So they just push it aside, and then, damn, people die.
Yeah, that's another thing that people need to. In my opinion, that's something that a lot of people need to see is that people are different. Like you can't assume that everybody's the same. Everybody's going through the same stuff, and then assume that they're just this or that. Like when you see somebody acting up in school, like you have no idea what could be going on in their life at this moment, or what could be going on even in their own head. You know what I mean?
School, okay? School, they give us this work every single day, and then, like, they expect we all have perfect lives. Like, we can go home, do our homework just fine, but they don't put into consideration that someone could be going through something like a mental illness, or, like, a friend died, or
you're
anything. Sick. You could be super sick,
like,
you be in the hospital, can't make it up.
Like, I'm not, like, defending laziness or anything, but that's, like, they don't put into consideration a lot of what's going on at home because I've seen a lot in this area specifically that there's a lot of people just don't have very good home lives, and it's really sad because people at school expect them to be perfect and like they have normal lives, and it's hard for them to keep up.
There's people that go through things and like they can't make it to school every day. They're having problems passing their classes, and they get like laughed at.
Yeah, for
just
being
because
stupid.
for being stupid or being
Yeah.
different, just because how their home life is and the way they were grown up.
Mhm. Yeah, there's a lot of problems with people that are different, in my opinion, in the school system.
Politics. What do you think about politics?
You know, I don't really want to get into that, honestly.
Okay, I'm not gonna get into politics. I'm just talking about politics as a subject. Like, I'm specifically one side, of course. Like,
Yeah, like
I
feel like
have a lot of liberal beliefs, but I'm mainly conservative. Like, I'm not really a specific party.
yeah,
but
that goes back to what we were talking about. How people will see somebody with a specific opinion
Yeah,
and then
hold up.
immediately follow that.
Yeah, that goes with that too. That's why I'm more open-minded and kind of both. So I think for myself. But instead of, I see on media bashing Donald Trump or bashing liberals for not following Donald Trump, on what he's deciding. I think instead of hating each other, we should all agree on something instead of.
Or even agree to disagree.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you don't
laugh
have to make everybody believe the same thing you do.
laugh together, freaking cry together, like we're a country that's one. We should disagree and then not talk to each other and stop being friends with each other.
Yeah, like
political disagreement.
There's a lot of people that I look up to that have completely different beliefs than I do, and it doesn't change what I think about them. It shouldn't. It's a personal opinion that doesn't really matter as much as people make it seem. Like so many people.
Think about this.
Completely discard somebody's opinion on
Think about
other
this.
things.
Everything is theory. Religion's theory. Everything is theory. Even math is theory. You have to think of this, because what if there is no God? What if there is literally no higher being? We all die, and then we rot and decay in the ground to become a freaking fossil fuel eventually. And then we're nothing. We're nothing but a speck. A speck. And if there's nothing, what's the point in wasting our time arguing with each other and disagreeing?
Exactly.
Stop
keep in mind the greater good.
I don't see why people are killing each other over materialistic objects.
Yeah. Not even materialistic.
I don't see why people are fighting over simple disagreements. Like, especially 2 years later, is any of it really gonna matter? Someone called you something, or like, I don't know. If it's not something serious, why would you cause conflict and maybe cause bodily harm to someone else or yourself?
Exactly.
Anything else you would discuss?
Well, back what I was saying when I got rudely interrupted. Just joking around. So, how a lot of people will see somebody with a specific opinion and then they'll automatically believe just based on I don't know, based on that who that person is, that they have a more valued opinion than anybody else, and they will blindly follow what that person's opinion is without backing up with their own research to formulate their own opinion on the subject, rather than taking it with a grain of salt and figuring it out on their own and being an independent thinker, which just ties back into what we were talking about before.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't see why we can't just think for ourselves instead of, like, people don't notice they do it, which is really depressing because you see people follow each other. Like, it looks unwillfully, but you can tell how much they act like each other, like exactly like each other, because they're cool, or how people get treated differently just because they don't act like everyone else, dressed the same, or like what they believe in. It's really stupid if you think about it.
And I have no problem with people that truly believe in what they're doing and made a decision on their own, but it happens to line up with other people. That's not an issue. But like putting your own interests aside and your own beliefs aside to follow people that are cool or you look up to, that is where it starts to bother me. Just a personal opinion.
I also think like the people that are America's idols, what's that one chick? What's her name? Danielle Bregoli. Like how they can do something completely stupid, including being a bitch to your mother and getting famous, billions of dollars from it. I think we give too much attention to the really ignorant things, like the things that other countries look at America and laugh about.
Like
You
you'll
give
see
it
those.
way too much
Oh, wait,
attention.
hold on, let me talk here. Oh wait, so what bothers me a lot is how interested people are in people's lives that are incredibly insignificant to anything you have going on. Like you see so many news stories about, oh my gosh, this person did this. I don't care.
Well,
You
speaking of-
shouldn't care.
I can answer that for you because it attracts viewers, which the more viewers on their network, the more money they get. So they talk about things that people idolize. Idolization.
Yeah, with a lot of the
It's
celebrities
really
in
what
America,
does it.
it's bad. It's really bad. Like those news stories.
Like
you
I'm not
see-
talking. I don't think that's really that bad. I think people should try being their own selves. But there's nothing wrong with like looking up to someone.
Oh, yeah.
I think that
Yeah,
like
definitely.
the people that our country looks up to, like as a society, other countries too, not just America, just humans in general.
I think it's not the looking up to somebody and taking influence from them is a good thing. Like using that
important.
to come up with your own opinion on something.
Okay, people they are what they observe within their lifespan. Like the things you take in. I think looking up to someone is very important because that will actually fold and like make your personality what it is.
And following like a person.
As long as you don't freaking try to become that person, that's completely different. You keep interrupting me too.
I try not to.
You'll just tell me to stop talking. I'll be in the middle of a thought. But alright, continue.
Well, now I lost the train of thought.
This video is really long.
It is really long, but it's interesting topics.
It's
that
fun
we're
to
discussing.
do this.
It
I hope
is.
you guys are enjoying this, and we'd like to know what you guys like and like are interested in, and topics you like, things that you're curious about, life, death.
Yeah, definitely. And I think what I was talking about before was like how mostly it's not like taking influence from somebody is different than idolizing somebody to become exactly like them without taking other points of view into consideration and being narrow-minded and favorable towards them in all situations is kind of where I was going. Basically, you should have like having influence is a really good thing if you have like they have like a span of influence. You like take everything in and you decide what you agree with. Like that's different than like idolizing one person and taking all that they say and all that they think as absolute truth. That's
You have to look
Well,
at different perspectives of everything, every point of view.
Yeah.
Like when you see something you don't personally agree with, try putting yourself in the person that is going through the situation's shoes and look at their point of view. See, I'll put an example. Abortion, alright? See, okay, not a mother yet, alright? A teenage 16-year-old girl gets raped and she doesn't want to have a baby. She's scarred for the rest of her fucking life, damaged forever. She wants to abort this baby, alright? And then she gets an abortion and she's a murderer and all sorts of things. And then there's people that are like, oh, that's messed up because it's taking a life away. But you have to look in their point of view, their perspective, and you can't totally bash them because something that they personally wanted to do with their body.
Yeah, because there's no absolute truth, which it's a lot of people think that there's black and white and there's no gray. There's a lot of gray. In a lot of different situations, you have to take in a lot of different points of view to fully understand a situation.
You can't look at someone's hairstyle or the shoes they have on and determine who they are as people.
Definitely, that's a big issue. Judgment.
Before you start judging someone, try holding a conversation with them and get to know them a little better before you just guess that they're a piece of shit. I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of people do
I
that.
didn't know what word to use there, so I just said piece of shit. Apologies, guys.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about today?
Not really. You want to end this?
Yeah.
That's it for today. Tell us anything you guys really want us to discuss on. This is vlog number 4.
Well, not really a vlog, but
This
video.
is technically it's a vlog.
Yeah.
I mean, and we're gonna start discussing more things. Maybe have some mom reacts to music or
That'd be
us
cool.
reacting to videos or something. Changed up, not just these stupid vlogs of us running around doing nothing really. We're trying to come up with new material.
Yeah.
So
Branch out because
keep tuned in.
there's only so much to do in this area.
Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys subscribe and like if you guys made it this far anyways.
Yeah.
Bye.